our guide. What a great opportunity to prepare for our gatherings with God's people this weekend. So let's pick up where we left off last time. Isaiah writes this, again in Isaiah 6. At the sound of their voices, the doorposts and the thresholds shook, and the temple was filled with smoke. Woe to me, I cried. I am ruined, for I am a man of unclean lips, and I live among a people of unclean lips. And my eyes have seen the King, the Lord Almighty. Now let's acknowledge right away that some of us are going to check out of this reflection about now, because these verses have been used as a foundation of what many would refer to as worm theology, or the teaching that we are worthless worms before God, bent to fault and failure at our very best. Now, honestly, there is some truth in that, although it's not the whole truth for sure. And I've wrestled with that perspective in my own life at times, as I'm sure you have. But let's instead take a look at what Isaiah continues to reveal for us. Initially, after the declarations of the angels attending God, Isaiah describes the unsettling experience of something like an earthquake and appears to ascribe the occurrence to the sound of the angels' voices. However, occurrences like these are most often associated with the actual presence of God, like that described in Exodus chapter 19, where Moses writes these words for us. Mount Sinai was covered with smoke, because the Lord descended on it in fire. The smoke billowed up from it like smoke from a furnace. The whole mountain trembled violently. So, what Isaiah appears to be describing is the actual effect of God being revealed, being present in accordance with what the angels were speaking. But additionally, Isaiah lets us in on the disturbing experience within him, as well as what was taking place around him. His explanation of being ruined, of being defiled and destined for destruction in the presence of holy God, just like all of mankind, is honestly disturbing, but is grounded in reality. In the presence of God, in whom there is no darkness at all, any darkness that exists is doomed, and we all know what darkness lies within the confines of our own hearts. So Isaiah must have felt like he was about to literally melt or explode in the light of God in His glory. Let's stop right there for a moment. Don't forget that Isaiah was given this vision by God, invited into this vision of His glory, and was on the floor in front of the throne of God by God's own initiative. So there are two takeaways here for us, I think. First of all, what the Lord leads us to, He will certainly lead us through. Yes, this was a life-shaking experience for Isaiah, but listen, he saw the Lord and lived. This is to some degree the experience all of us are to have with Jesus if we're honest about it, and an experience we can have regularly, trusting that God has a redemptive purpose in each encounter we have with Him. And secondly, we don't have to wait for a vision to encounter a living Lord like Isaiah anymore. We have His Word through which we can and must encounter Him daily if we are to serve Him well. So can I ask you, have you seen Him lately? If not, join us this Sunday. We'll be gathering to engage in a process of calling out to one another in worship. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord Almighty. And we continue to gaze upon Him in His glory together. If you're not with us, join another group doing the same thing. And God bless you as you experience Him in His glory